Hello, and we are doing at least some more Diablo this time, and as also advertised slightly in the go live announcement, all new base suit also, so should be fun also in that respect. So welcome all, and let's gradually get towards the game here, and of course this time it probably is even more of a good idea to get more views of the outfit considering it's new. So let's move towards the game here and see about if any fur does the redeem. So there we are, and let's continue with the game. The new headpiece is really nice, the kind of very designer kind of like horror animal head. So here we are, and we are apparently in a city. Don't remember going here. We were somewhere here, maybe. Yeah, we were pretty much here. How have we ended up here? Apparently it's like the area hub or something, so. And if we are still going to continue with the walking, that's a good question. Sure. Let's see how our inventory situation. Yeah. Let's visit a blacksmith. At least this place most probably has all the shops you can think about. Yeah. So let's see what items we do have. Not better. That is considerably better, and it's even named, so certainly preferable. Alright, that looks pretty fancy with all the fur and all like decorations. Nice, very nice. Of course, learn the recipe. Nope, this is the druidic spirit offering that we collected. Nope. Alright, this would be moderately interesting. Nope. Alright, 171 item power. Sure. Alright, that does a bit more damage, but still kind of prefer the named item. Nope, nope. Nope. Efficient two-handed hammer. Alright, what would be an inefficient hammer like? It does everything else but strikes. Alright, 164 item power, sure. Nope, nope. It's kind of better, but do prefer the named item for style. Yeah, a bit more armor, but whatever. Here it's actually, do like the movement speed better than a bit more armor. The movement speed more or less, especially when it's when only walking, it kind of does the thing. Alright, this is better and it's named, so this is acceptable. Switch. Nope. Alright. Rare ring. That's nice. It even looks like you're wearing a what? Millstone. Like a micro millstone. The interesting micro millstone ring. Sounds kind of fatal, like what usually happens when you carry a millstone around an appendage. It's not going to be a good situation. Now we can salvage everything because there really isn't much to save for those, so there we go. Right, that much for the city. Ah yeah, we can at the alchemist upgrade the healing potion, which is kind of good idea. At least in the longer term, like. Weak healing potion. Tiny healing potion. It's kind of like, yeah, would you like to have a tiny healing potion? Then you have minor healing potion, which already sounds a bit more convincing, like tiny healing potion, and then you have the one that comes in like a test tube, so this is probably like a single drink of Kölsch, which comes in those very small test tubes. So like instead of very small healing potion, we now have a tiny healing potion, which must be a major improvement. Like instead of a non-existent healing potion, we are now playing with power with the tiny healing potion. So certainly. So let's then next see about walking out of the city, as do not think there is a stable here, which would be the other useful function, like get the proper correct thing for actually, because we bought yeah, there is a stable master, so let's see if we can get the riding skill and like ride the Shadow Panther or whatever was the thing that cost like 20 euros. We should have also other mounts. Yep. We do also have a war cat. Do think this should be popular with certain viewership, and then we do also have the alright, at least apparently have at some point actually purchased also other ones in the shop. Alright, it's like scalded horse looks interesting, like if you let your steed overheat. That's probably what it looks like, so remember to not let your steed overheat excessively. Then we also have the one with the kind of like skull markings, that's quite pretty. And then we have the leopard, which is of course very convincing in overall quality terms. And then we have the nether cat, which is probably this one's favorite. This was like what? Yeah, it costs 20 euros, but it's easily worth that amount. So how does one use the mount is the next question. But yes, at least we have a pretty mount. Do not have exact idea how one uses it. Alright, we have been increasing the critical strike chance here, so alright. Wow. So that's how it works. That's pretty. Certainly worth the expense. Do not think the overall earlier commentary prevented using the mount. So, oh, hello there, Kamu. Let's greet you properly immediately. Always good to see you. It's been a while, do think, since you have at least actively been around. So great to see you. Let's bounce some for that also. And indeed, we do have the really pretty skull cat mount, if nothing else. So that was certainly also worth getting. Yes, it is very pink and worth also looking at more if someone does the redeem. So let's see, like we have some actual fighting. We apparently can't fight mounted, so let's assume proper fighting stance. also would like to actually know if we are dropping frames network-wise. Let's check statistics quick. Not that we necessarily have improvements available, but one can hope. Oh, alright, let's do that once we reach like a moderately safe location. So we can climb up here and do not think any opponents actually spawn to the dungeon entrance. Corrupted grotto. Very well. And let's see, we are actually pushing at 0 dropped frames. Wow. So let's then do the redeem properly. So there we are, and we'll also in this case of course and will also show in this case, because it's more or less part of the... Oh, hello there, Pierre. Good to have you here also. And will also, even in absence of the according redeem, will also show of the matching footwear. There we go. So hopefully our good bat approves, as promised some time ago, that would actually do this specific type of... Indeed, Pierre, as said, would do this specific kind of all base suit. So let's then move back towards the game gradually. Right, we have done slightly under half an hour, so we do have pretty good amount of time. So let's do the usual 1.5 hours. So let's then get back to the game and see about like what else we find in the dungeon. And hopefully our good bat was also happy with the redeem. Oh, thank you. And good to have you at least drop by, Pierre. Always appreciated. So let's then move back towards the game and see what we can do there. Corrupted grotto, you say? Oh, great. I have to say that it's really stylish that the mount also appears, so we have the spectral cat mount. Right, so climbing time. Alright, the animus Alright, and here's the first one, so... That wasn't very difficult. We have to find several though, because that filled up like at most 20% of the bar, so... Can we get rid of them before they freeze? Almost, but not quite. It was close. And next animus carrier, so... Alright, that was pretty hopeless to move out of the freezing area, so let's see if we can get rid of them before they freeze again. There we go. Alright, that's not very useful yet, because we do not have enough animus to put into the urn, so... And there's the next animus carrier. There we go.
Your Highness, we have come to the grotto as instructed. Your fears have been proven correct. A
Horrible corruption.
both of the spirit and of the flesh has infiltrated this once tranquil.
Alright, so some leader has been told that there is the minor issue with the animated dead. Right, so we have more area back here, so there we go.
The rest now shamble the sands like empty human husks, hungry for a taste of life.
Probably that expedition didn't do well. Oh, hello there, Tika. Let's greet you properly. And welcome also to the stream. Very good to see you here, or as always. So let's then see about further finds in the dungeon. Alright, that was effective. We still need to dispose of one to actually be able to open the door by the animus urn. So how has every first weekend been? Did oneself also go cycling with the road bike? So actually it works again after broke the chain from the quick link connector last summer, so works again, and it's very light and fast certainly. Oh, good to hear. Do not think away of the game other than that some have been also streaming it. Also was kind of backwards culturally and purchased when others went like to buy the new Oblivion remaster. This one bought for about €10, the original one with all the expansions, and will actually at some point stream the original one. So indeed a bunny, unsurprisingly. Alright, and now we get some corruption cards. So how about some werewolf for aroma to your thing? There we go. And then we put enough animus into the urn, so and use the shrine for at least some effects. I think all shrine effects in this game are at least theoretically positive, so there are no like especially negative shrine effects that would cause like only negative things. Some of them are kind of like questionable utility, but it's also very good that the secondary attack acts as rudimentary crowd control. Lethal shrine sounds effective. Looks pretty lethal if you strike with like apparently also forced to be a kinslayer because like attacked by werewolves, so kind of disappointed, but it is what it is in this line of business. At least we leveled up. Level 20. Wow. Alright, yellow morning star looks promising. Always do like the action and motion with the werewolf form fighting. Very stylish. In general, this version of the game do think is the best one like overall. In addition to the first two ones, it's like 3 is kind of like same thing over and over, and like the world is much bigger and more open in 4, so to appreciate that a lot comparatively. So it has a lot of extra new stuff to do, one might say, unlike 3 was pretty much the same thing over and over, and stopped playing 3 because did not want to. Like, the main reason why I stopped playing Diablo 3 was that did not like killing Deckard Cain over and over when doing the main plot, which was kind of, Cain had already rough enough fate, and then you, to play the campaign over and over at higher difficulties, you have to kill good Deckard Cain over and over, and was about as pleased about that as anyone might be, so kind of stopped playing 3 because it was the same thing again and again, and it's not the best thing to do again and again is watch Deckard Cain die without being able to do anything, so that kind of caused the game to not be quite as interesting. Alright, we do have like special, very special. Let's see if we can do enough special damage. Alright, let's move a bit. Alright, we did enough slow damage also that they actually expired, so that was pretty well executed maneuver. Put the damage in and jump out of the way. There we go. And then nothing here, so we still need to find, yeah, destroy demonic corruption too, so we still need to do 2 of those. Alright, we are still not dropping frames, which is surprising when we consider the general quality of the internet in this corner of the woods overall, as have noted in some posts like that it's more or less lacks certain refinement in terms of like pushing any bits when it gets bad, which was uploading the old archives to the overall like YouTube archive, and it was like many of the streams were in 2 parts because had actually lost the whole internet connection altogether in several of those instances. So yeah, like let's have mobile internet. It's been now set up a bit different and it works better, though it's not like blazing fast, it's more like blazing unfast, but at least it doesn't drop frames with these settings, so that's better than it was for a while. Alright, time to find more corruption nodes. Alright, this looks like we would be approaching one considering how things are looking. Alright, that went actually rather well. Sand won't cover. Like cover for what? A bit more armor, but how does that look like? As of course prefer the... Alright, it's just like a thing with horns. Do prefer the more ritual mask style. Then we had also whatever the cover. Strange Inception. Alright, that's very good name. And they are pretty much the same model, just different color. Walker Serpent, yep. That gives also bonuses and has sockets and is special, so let's see. Yeah, actually this looks better, so we prefer despite higher armor and a bit more item power now. Alright. Move on. This is interesting dungeon because it's kind of outdoors, would say, like semi outdoors dungeon. Interesting. Alright, and here we have another corruption also. Most probably, yeah, now we get Mr. Demonic Elite. Alright, we are both afraid and unable to move. There we go. Alright. And 2 corruption nodes removed, so we still need to do something about 1. But otherwise it is looking pretty good for this dungeon this far. Alright, that came quickly, so. Alright, and immediately frozen, great start. Dungeon complete, yes, but we also need to get rid of these. Alright, getting close and also again succeeded at moving pretty much at the right moment. There we go, where those all the items still had some axe left behind. And nothing further here, so it's more like let's walk to the entrance, which is moderately long way. So let's move tail. Druidic signet, is this also a ring? Yes. Alright, we have several new, like, very good rings. This is also pretty much the same, but gives 14 willpower and lucky hit. I think the lucky hit is more fun functionality wise. There we go. New items taken into use. And then let's keep walking back towards the so let's then move further. Alright, we have now done about 50 minutes, so still about 40 minutes remaining. And indeed, we have fulfilled the promise this week that we will do only Diablo, and we will have new games actually for next week. Have gotten some new games that actually will be nice, especially with the new GPU and everything. So we should have some new things for next week. Alright, and we made it through back. Alright, let's see, are we on the right path to exit? Yes, so. Yeah, I would like organic viewership, thank you. And then alright, we found still one leftover opponent also. A bit of fighting. Like the right amount of fighting every time. Climbing time, and back out we go. Another dungeon done. Can we approach the Imperial Library this way? Let's see. There we go, and inspect the ancient obelisk. Let's see what happens. Probably nothing good. Stand on pressure plates to satiate the obelisk. Alright, blood is the key, yes. It's of course less fun if you have to donate your blood while you are getting beaten up, so. Alright, we have got also one pressure plate done, so let's stand on the next one. That's done. And of course more company appears. Next plate, please. Let's bleed also here. You are bleeding on my fine antique monument. Apparently we will unfortunately run out of time though, but let's start the next plate. So no mastery for you, but still got the chest also. Fair enough. That looked impressive at least. Because all the truer things like throughout the festering burrow, that is probably a cellar, so let's see about festering burrow. Sounds kind of minimal. What place are you going to visit for the summer vacation? Going to have a midsummer party in the festering burrow. Probably a metal festival. This is one of these puzzle ones. Never found the correct formula for these, so it's like never really found the correct formula for these, so not going to spend time trying to solve the puzzle. It's not very action. It requires somehow working out the pattern, but have not yet found the right way for that. What is this? Apparently some enemies appear. Water-stained leather in middle of the desert. really. What have you been having? Ancient waterway, alright, this is same location as in the third game. Alright, special beast, this will be a lot of damage. Like, yeah. Alright, finally. Putrid Aquifer, alright, sounds almost as nice as the festering burrow. Let's check out Putrid Aquifer next. The names of the dungeons are very enticing. Alright, we are up to 1 hour, so let's see if we can do that dungeon and then finish for tonight. So how is everyone's week starting out? Going to be occupied or easier week? How is it looking? The mount looks really nice looming in the background. Yeah, it looks rather putrid. Ah, yeah. Confuzzled. Kind of got enough of the Hilton and the overall way. The convention was expensive, but the hotel was more of getting worse than better, so again not going. We went there the previous year and it was alright, but for the price it should be better, especially if you pay for the main hotel. But hope you have great time there. Do really like the theme, the kind of like fashion business. Very nice theme. That was what liked about it immediately when it was revealed the previous year. That was a singular reason to even consider going, as really liked the fashion theme. Apparently we have full inventory. That's pretty quick for full inventory. We would have to walk to town. How long is that? Like next town with blacksmith. World map, please. So we are here. There is no blacksmith at Imperial Library, so it's like... And as we have most of the quests still to do, yeah. Let's do the mount, so we are at least a bit quicker. Fashion bun, for sure. There we go. Mount up and go. Alright, treasure goblin. That's interesting enough to actually bother. Alright, that did net our first orange item, so that was very much worth it. Legendary treasure goblin cache. The mass of odd coins we counted in Murph's saliva. Did he have to taste each one? Yeah, it's of course good idea to have a taste of your coinage. There we go. Some coinage along the way. Mount up and more movement, please. That was a fun side to our walk everywhere run. Does this go to town? Yeah. They must think that would be somewhat crazy, like walk or ride everywhere. Nope, nope, nope. That would be better, but prefer the other one. These we already changed. There we go. Alright, about 20 minutes remaining, so let's go back out to the desert. So let's walk. This time maybe would like to reach the Imperial Library. So let's try a bit more speed, like keep the cat running. So how does Kisu like the Skull Cat mount? Not going to stop and fight every possible thing. Alright, does this lead to the Imperial Library? Abandoned market. Alright, let's go shopping. Sounds good. Slay all enemies in the abandoned market. Shopping time.
What is this?
What's this? Sounds convincing, of course. Give stuff to werewolf, what do you think? Alright, plenty of things in air, so let's find more here. There we go. Alright, there's like a platform with more people. Hello, how about some werewolf ball aroma? Have you tried? Alright, there's some special guy. Alright, there's like a boss. We have to climb to the platform, so. And we have 37 seconds to do something about. Main problem is getting scared. We still have 16 seconds, so push it. There we go. Including mastery. We did get greater radiant chest. And it had a lot of stuff in it, certainly. Speak with Kratia, wherever Kratia is. Ah yeah, that's the gem crafting one, so we finished this and got the chest. There was no further quest content for that. Caldeum Bazaar. This is familiar. Renegade Retreat, so where's the library? Alright, so we need to go through that way. Gates of Caldeum. Looks fancy. Alright, and we again have the guys with the laser spears or whatever. Alright, this looks like a good place for the rudimentary crowd control, because of course werewolf mauls in a circular path or an arc. Abandoned Iron Wolf's garrison, which apparently included some really big thing like. Ah, hello there, Briareus. Let's treat you properly in a bit. Alright, did we reach Imperial Library? Not even yet. Alright, and we were also taking damage, so good idea to fight. Alright, do not think we will be immediately attacked in this corner while we create a Nui. Hello there. Good to have you along also. Alright, we have about 10 minutes give or take. Let's see if we can reach like our latest idea was just like, hey, let's go to the Imperial Library. Still takes a bit of pushing through, so does this actually end up anywhere? So is it this way or the other way? Looks like it is this way. Imperial Palace looks a little worse for wear. And we reached the Imperial Library. Hello there, mister. I recovered this armor from one of the knights.
Thank you for bringing this to me.
Thank you for bringing this to me. This armor belonged to a friend and brother in arms. With a little work, it will protect another Iron Wolf one day. Is there even Emperor anymore in Caldeum? There we go. And then, having shown off enough, let's switch to the game proper also, now that we reached Imperial Library. And when it all is lost, stand before the Golden Watchers at the palace gates, plead for their help and be armed. So that apparently started a quest. Yes, in desperate times, ask for the Watcher's help. I find a book about Caldeum's defense with an interesting passage. Let's track that and see about. So it's in front of the gates, so it's a short walk. Would be still good for tonight, so let's do that. Alright, so there is the guardian, but how do we ask for help? Apparition incursion joined. Alright, would like to. Let's see if we climb. At least we got attention. This may be one of those quests that actually require using like an emote at the guardian. We are also having this apparition incursion, which isn't helping. Like, how about getting bigger and bigger things? At least it keeps one busy while trying to figure the quest out. Really. Is this the same Peliali as the Peliani, which sells furniture like?
Your efforts are for naught, mortals. This realm is mine, and I shape it as I wish.
Play the greater apparition, alright, and let's see if we can find that. Doesn't sound very promising, like. This most probably requires using some thing. Yes. It makes quite hard to try and solve the quest by emoting in front of the Guardian when it's like you all the time have the apparition incursion going on, so that you have a lot of trouble. This idea might not be the best one ever for older content. Because you now have constant fighting in the area. Alright, let's try again. So really. Quite a few freezing opponents. Let's try to emote help here. There we go. Open the mysterious chest. Really? It contained 3 blue items. But we did solve the quest, so you had to practically press the help emote to ask for help, and you got mysterious chest that contained 3 blue items. That was not the greatest help ever from Guardians of Caldeum, whatever, like really. How about better help? Alright, and we have done 1 hour 33. Let's do like honor the 7 minutes, so do practically 4 minutes more and then see who we will raid. So we are honoring the 7 minutes that are the starting sequence. A lot of treasure here as we fought here. Let's return to the Imperial Library and see if the same person who cared for the armor cares for the sword. The Iron Wolf aficionado. Yes, I know this blade. This is Asher's own sword. the rest of the wolves will rally when they hear you found it. You have done us a great service. Alright, so the old leader from the previous game of the Iron Wolves. So, the weapon of a wolf, complete. Right, that's nice. So actually calling for help was meaningful in that respect. So read some progress in Keshistan. Nice. So indeed do like that this game is more like a normal RPG, that it has plenty of locations and action. So compared to the third game where you did the same things over and over practically. Let's see, where does the other exit go? Hello, Descent. Nice. Unfortunately, it's a bit of out of shape now. Stylish staircase. To Captain Sude, Triun amassing at Hellgate, summoning demons, more coming, purpose unknown, sent the wolves. And let's guess that that was the end of the wolves.
Triun gathering at the Hellgate, summoning demons, more coming, purpose unknown. Send the wolves.
Gates to hell. At least we do get many of the explosive things that are kind of demanding. These are really effective. Wow. Alright, no wonder there was a special here. Do think we are now up to time? Yes, 37, so we honored the missing 7 minutes. And it starts to be also quite good time to finish the night for Sunday. So let's switch to the ever elegant main screen, and then we of course close the game for tonight and see who's doing what, so we see who we will raid. So let's see who's doing what. That was very nice. We'll certainly continue Diablo also, otherwise we do have some new games for next week, but our special week did yield several hours of Diablo also. Who's doing what? Shuts is apparently sleeping. Day 47, Sabaton, really? Shats, you pamf. Kazuma is playing Elite Dangerous. Tempest is playing Helldivers 2. Blue Box is playing Baldur's Gate 3. Let's see how far they are into that. Would be fun. 5 hours. Unsure how long they will be going on. How about... Oh, we do have also Lem that streams. It's a while since we have done that Lemur. They are playing some very indie looking game. The Lemur expert. It's been a while since we have done them, so let's do exactly that. Oh, Recon Pat. Oh, thank you all for joining also. Did we even type that correctly? Yes, our good lemur. Thank you all for joining and see you the coming week. We will have a new schedule and more games than just Diablo, but our special week did yield some hours of Diablo, so that was nice. Thank you all for joining. Have a good start of the week and be well.